Leave a like on this video and I'll actually give you nothing at all. No, but what's up guys? Welcome back to a brand new story. And just imagine you're chilling with your girlfriend. Life is awesome. You stare into her eyes lovingly, and then all of a sudden this emo kid walks in and says that you must fight him to the death to decide who gets your girlfriend. And at that moment, you seriously just sit there and question your life choices. That is the story I'll be telling today. So sit back, relax, subscribe if you're new, and let's just jump right into this story. So we're going to call a subscriber who submitted the story James. So anyways, there was a kid in James's class who we're going to call the emo kid. He kept to himself. He wore crazy makeup and the dark clothing and whatever. And honestly, it doesn't really matter what you wear. But he was also extremely melodramatic. Like he would come in and he'd be like, "Society doesn't understand me. No one gets me. I'll never fit in." He was kind of like one of those kids that kind of just like would say this stuff and then would be like, "Why do I not have friends? I'm just a melodramatic freak all the time," which, I mean, I was pretty weird in middle school, so like I can't really speak. But then again, hey man. Anyways, so there's also a girl in, I don't know, I'll just call her like, we'll just call her Kate, right? It's name of my friend back home. So anyways, James and the emo kid, unfortunately, had to cross paths because they both had a thing for this girl. And this Friday, right? So this story all starts like this weekend, or not this weekend, we'll say starts on Monday. And this Friday, remember, not actually this Friday, I mean this Friday in the story, was going to be the school dance. And the whole thing was like whoever got the slow dance with this girl was basically going to like, so the thing at James's school is if you slow danced with a girl, you were basically dating her at this point. You guys were practically in love at that point. So it was a pretty big deal who was going to get the slow dance. And it was the emo kid versus James. And this became very public knowledge. Like the emo kid was telling everyone that he was going to 100% get the slow dance. And people kind of knew James because James was more popular. He wasn't like, I don't know, some like really annoying popular person. He was just like a cool guy that everyone liked. I mean, at least according to James, who submitted this story. So who really knows? But we'll go with it, right? So everyone kind of knew that both the emo kid and James were both fighting for this girl, Kate. And Kate made it pretty clear that, you know, she was not going to say yes to the emo kid. Like, sorry, unlucky. Life just works out like that. But she was considering saying yes to James. She was kind of just keeping... the truth was that she was going to say yes to James if he asked. However, she just wanted to keep him kind of like on his toes and questioning or whatever, right? So, yeah, throughout that whole week, the emo kid and James, they weren't like in a fight with each other, but they were kind of like rivals in a sense, even though they never had any direct confrontation. And let's just skip ahead to that Friday. It was the day of the school dance. It was emo kid versus James. So anyways, at this point, you know, the emo kid is like, you know, he's kind of like, he's standing in the corner at the dance, right? Look, I was pretty awkward in high school and middle school when it came to those big dances, but to be fair, everyone else was as well. But the emo kid was kind of taking it to a whole different level. He literally was like slouched in the corner of the room, his like long black hair kind of like down, almost like, you know, that scene from The Ring with that like the girl who comes out of the TV. He was kind of looking like that chick for a second. So he was definitely not helping himself out in this situation. And at this point, James and his boys were kind of standing like together, whatever. They were dancing to, I don't know. I don't freaking know what they play at high school dances. Maybe some Whip Nene by Silento. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a middle school dance, bro. I don't know how this works. But anyways, they're kind of waiting for the slow song to come on. Maybe some, I don't know, some like song by Adele or something like that. Like the one like, dude, I always try and like say lines from songs during these stories and I just blank every single time. But anyways, yeah, so they're all kind of waiting around there, and it was, eventually, the slow dance song came on. And remember, you might be thinking, oh man, who cares? It's just like a slow song. No. What you have to understand is the slow song meant everything to these kids. Like the slow song, basically, if you had a slow song with some girl, because remember, they were in middle school. This was like 7th, 8th grade. So probably the farthest you ever went with a girl was like slow dancing or maybe holding her hand if you were like crazy, because, you know, if you hold a girl's hand for too long, there is a chance you get her pregnant. So definitely not misinformation from the Connor Pugs channel. But anyways, slow dance was a really big deal. And all of a sudden, the song comes on. And the thing was, right, the emo kid was too busy kind of like sulking about society in the corner of the room to react quick enough. So James was like, all right, bro, like that guy's playing himself. I'm going to go in. So James very quickly goes in and boom, he gets there, goes up. He's like, hey, like, Kate, like, can I have this dance? And she very happily says yes, because she said, like, oh, I don't know if I'll say yes. She knew she was bluffing the whole time. And James kind of felt pretty confident about it. And even though she said, I don't know, he was pretty confident because her friends were like, yeah, dude, she's totally bluffing. Like, I hate to expose my friend like that, but she definitely has a thing for you. You're chilling. You're in the green. So anyways, James goes in. He feels pretty good about the whole thing. But let me just say that the emo kid eventually looks up and then he sees this. And the emo kid is not having it. So he does something pretty insane. So strap in and definitely prepare for the cringe. If you have your cringe seatbelt unbuckled, I'm actually going to fine you for your own safety. So yeah, go ahead and buckle that cringe seatbelt, because there was like a DJ station and there was like a guy who was like DJing, quote unquote, and there was like a microphone. So like the DJ could say like, hey, like 20 minutes till the dance is done, or get ready for this hype song or whatever. And other than that, he was really just a Spotify playlist. He just edited the Spotify playlist, right? However, the DJ let the Spotify playlist run on autoplay or whatever, and he went to the bathroom. So the emo kid ran up to like the spot or whatever. He grabs the microphone. He stops the music. First of all, he goes up to the Spotify, clicks pause on the music, and screams into the microphone, "Wait!" And everybody turns around. Everybody turns around and they look at this kid. And they're all kind of like looking at this emo kid who's standing at the front of the room with like the microphone. He picks it up. He's like, Kate, no. So at this point, everyone's kind of looking at this kid like, oh my God. Because they all knew that like he wanted to have the dance with Kate, but like James obviously got it. So they were like, that's tough, man. Like life sometimes doesn't work out the way you want it to. Like that's just unfortunate how that goes. However, he goes up there and he goes in the microphone, like he says, wait. And everyone turns around. The music is off. He's like, Kate, may I have this dance? And everyone's so confused because, first of all, he turned off the slow song in the middle of the song. And also, she was already dancing with someone. And instead of just going up to her, he makes a massive scene in front of everyone, grabbing the microphone and screaming into it, saying, like, will you have this dance? And the thing is, right, it's caused enough commotion that the guy, like the DJ that was hired, ran back. Because I think he was supposed to be there the whole time, but he needed to, like, rip a piss or something, so he needed to go. And he runs back over. He's like, give that back to me. He, like, snatches it out of the emo kid's hand. He's like, sorry for the interruption, guys. Turns the music back on, like, starts, like, not cursing out this kid, he's a middle schooler, but being like, dude, what do you think you're doing? You can't just like come up here and take this stuff. Like, if you do this again, I'm going to tell your teachers and you'll be in big trouble. Or, I don't know how much trouble a hired DJ can get you in, but the emo kid returns to his corner and literally just sits down, just slumps into the corner of the room, which James felt kind of bad. He felt a little bit bad because like James has definitely been in that position. I say that very kind of liberally because James has not actually been in a position where he grabs the microphone at the school dance, stops the music, and asks the girl out unsuccessfully. He hasn't specifically been there, but he's definitely been in a situation where it just hasn't gone his way. So he feels bad, man. Feels bad, man. You hate to see it. But anyways, James like continued on with the slow. He's not going to stop his life because this kid has an unlucky moment. Like, that's tough. So, while I will say there was kind of an awkward moment because while, like, James was, like, slow dancing with Kate, he kind of, like, turns around, like, they kind of, like, turn around so James is facing the emo kid, and he just looks up, and the emo kid is staring at him with, like, the creepiest, most stalkerish, most scariest stare he's ever seen, because the emo kid is slumped over, like, the girl from The Ring, right, and is just, like, staring right at him. His, like, long black hair, like, covering most of his face besides his eyes, and he's like slumped over too, like kind of like crouching over like an old guy with a cane or something but without a cane. And James is like, hey, do you mind if we turn like 45 degrees this way or 90 degrees this way. Ah, thank you. That's much better. So he doesn't have to see him anymore. Or actually, let's do a whole 180. I mean, he didn't ask for a 180 because he didn't want like Kate to be making eye contact with him either. But yeah, so that was a bit of a tough situation. However, you might be thinking, well, I mean, at this point, reasonably, the emo kid must have realized that this just wasn't his day. And he must have just like given up, which he's already embarrassed himself. Like, he probably gave up after this point. And while that would be pretty fair for you to believe, that was unfortunately that was just not what happened, because the emo kid would continue. Let me just say that the emo kid thought that if he had a sword fight with James, that he would be able to win the honor of his lady. I'm not even kidding you. Real quick, if you made it this far into the video, comment emo down below. That'll be the secret word of the day. I will try and heart as many of those comments as I possibly can. And also, if you want to support the channel, the best possible thing you can do is just watch this video throughout the entirety of this video, and then afterwards, if you could watch some of my old videos, that helps more than you can ever imagine. Please go in the comment section and tell me how many of my old videos you've watched today or this week. I'll heart it and say thank you, because it helps me out more than you can ever imagine. Anyways, let's go back to the story, because the emo kid is not done. In fact, he is far from being done. So what happened after the school dance? Like, over the weekend, James actually met up with Kate. They went to like go get dinner together, and that's when they officially started dating, whatever that means in 8th grade, which means, oh my God, they're gonna sit together at lunch. Oh my God, dude, that's crazy, right? But anyway, so James officially starts dating this girl. Word gets around really quickly, and eventually the emo kid, I'm pretty sure at this point the emo kid would have known, but by his next actions, it's not super clear. So that Monday is the first kind of like lunch day that Kate and what's his name, James, are going to be having their first real at-school lunch date, which is a pretty big deal for the 8th graders there. Obviously, it's not that big of a deal in general, but hey, man, let them have their fun. And so, yeah, he sits down, like, he finds Kate, they sit down, and they're at a table by themselves, and, like, people are looking over and talking and be like, ooh, someone's dating, whatever, right? And, however, James, Kate is facing away from the door, but James is facing the door, and James sees the door open up, and he sees the emo kid walk in, and James is like, this is tough. Because James feels bad. He legitimately feels bad because, I mean, if the roles were reversed, he would feel bad, like, seeing the girl that he really liked a week ago sitting with the guy who was low-key his, like, enemy rival on a date. Like, that would be tough to see. And James started to feel a little bit worried when the emo kid starts to approach him, right? Starts to approach him. And, yeah, so the emo kid walks up to their table. And at this point, Kate also realizes that someone's walking up, so she turns around. And the emo kid walks up and doesn't look at James. He's not paying any attention to James. He's actually acting as if James doesn't even exist at this point. The emo kid turns to the girl, Kate, I forgot her name for a second, says, Kate, I've been wanting to ask this for a while, but since we've become so close in the last couple weeks, which they have never spoken before, but that is beyond the point. At this point, that is beyond the point. He's like, I was wondering if you would like to go on a date with me, if you would like to start dating. And James is like, oh, no, he doesn't know. How does he not know? Because James is like, everybody knows. Everybody told everybody, but I guess everybody didn't tell the emo kid. Of course they didn't. And Kate at this point is like, oh, well, I'm very flattered. And the emo kid's like, well, if you're flattered, then you should say yes, correct? And at this point, she's like, well, you see, it's actually not great timing because I'm actually currently in a relationship. And the emo kid's like, what? How? With who? And James is like, oh my God, this is so awkward. He doesn't know. So James has kind of assumed that the emo kid didn't think anything of the fact that James got like the dance with her, which in all reality, the emo kid was kind of the one who had the most common sense in that situation, because just because someone dances with a girl once doesn't mean anything, right? But at this middle school, if you got the slow dance, you were basically in. You were locked in at this point, is what I'm trying to say. So Kate has to go on to awkwardly explain to the emo kid that, well, the guy that she's sitting at right now on the lunch date with happens to be the guy that she's dating. And the emo kid turns to James, looks at him, looks him down and up, like does like the elevator look when he looks at like the top of his head, looks all the way down, then looks all the way up, turns back to Kate and is like, really, dude? You decided to date this guy when you could have dated me? He's like, bruh. And he just kind of like storms out of there. And James looks at Kate and he's like, dude, how did that kid not know that we're dating at this point? Like, I swear to God, all your friends told everybody. Like, and Kate's like, dude, my friends didn't tell everyone. And James is like, if you ask anyone at the school, besides the emo kid, apparently, they will know. And Kate's like, yeah, okay, my friends do talk a lot. And they're like, well, that was pretty awkward. Hopefully nothing else happens again. You might be thinking at this point, Connor, the emo kid must stop. There's no way he continues on. There's not a chance that he continues, right? Well. I got some news for you guys. He does continue, and it's bad. Because you might be thinking that, oh, well, the emo kid stormed off and he was done. No. About 20 minutes later, when there's only like 10 minutes left of lunch, James sees the doors open up again. And he's like, you gotta be kidding me, dude. Because the emo kid walks through. But this time, he is like stomping towards James super angrily. He runs up to the table practically, looks at James, looks him in the eye, and says, it's not over between us. It is far from over between us. And is like taking his little finger and like pointing at James. And James is like, okay, nice. Like, I like, we do not care. Like, I don't know what else to say at this point. Like, okay, cool, nice. Like, okay, what do you want me to say? And the emo kid after that is like, you better watch yourself. It's about to get bad. He like storms out of there. And, you know, at this point, James is like, okay, well, I guess that answers my question. So the next day at lunch is where things get really, really, really crazy. So he's sitting there with Kate on his second date. James is enjoying himself. He's having a good time with Kate. They're enjoying each other's presence. They're doing well. I mean, they're kind of clicking, so things might continue on, right? And that's when the emo kid walks in, and he's carrying like two sticks, like two pretty good sized sticks that he probably found in the backyard of the school. So in the backyard of the school, there's like a mini forest, nothing too crazy, but there's like a pretty big forest back there. And the emo kid must have gone back there and like found two decent sized sticks. He walks into the cafeteria with one stick in one hand and one stick in the other, and James is just looking at him. And he's like, he kind of says like to Kate, he's like, oh, okay, we got trouble. Kate turns around, looks at it, and it's just like, turns back around and is like, what? And James is like, yeah, I have no idea what's happening, but I guess we're about to see. So the emo kid walks up to the table, like kind of like waddles his way up, and he's like, you. And he like hands the stick to James, and James is like, like, I need a little explanation. What do you want me to do with this? Like, it's not super clear. The emo kid's like, you and I will have a sword battle, and whoever wins the sword battle will have the will win the honor of your lady, and will. At this point, like Kate's like, what? And James is like, dude, what are you saying? He's like, fight me to the death. The winner gets your girl. And James is like, no. And the emo kid's like, oh, so you're scared of me then? You know that you're gonna lose, and that's why you don't want to do it. And James is like, well, I'm not convinced I'm going to lose. I mean, I'm not an expert at random stick fighting or whatever, but at the same time, why would I want to even engage? Like, why would I even want to do it? And the emo kid's like, well, I mean, for the sake of your honor, bro, like, do you really want to be known as the guy who chickened out because he's a chicken? And James is like, well, I mean, I don't really care, but I also don't want to be known as the guy who went on, who during the dance last Friday, grabbed the DJ's microphone and like stopped the music to like ask out a girl who was very clearly in the middle of dancing with someone else, and then come into school the next day super angry with a bunch of sticks and try and like fight some guy to get the girl that already obviously said no to him twice. At this point, the emo kid's like, so what you're saying is that you're too scared to fight me, and because you know you'll lose. And James is like, dude, we're going in circles right now. I'm not fighting you. I'm not having a sword fight to the death. Like, okay, I'm just not doing that. At this point, the emo kid's like, fine. Well, you're about to see me in my final form, where I am the most powerful. And James is like, okay. Like, word. And then the emo kid reaches up to James and rips out like a strand of his hair. And James is like, dude, like, that hurt. Like, why would you do that? And the emo kid's like, I need that for my wizardly spells. And he like laughs really awkwardly and like shuffles out of there. And James turns to Kate. He's like, dude, like, what life choice did I make to get myself to this position? Like, what did I do wrong? Like, what choices did I make that got me here? And Kate's like, I don't know. Like, this is kind of tough. He's like, yes, why me? Like, why? Why? Like, you just came up to me with a bunch of sticks and says, I want to fight you, right? And then all of a sudden, you know, he just, like, pulls a piece of hair. Like, what? Huh? Bro? I just don't know. I just don't know what to do at this point. And Kate's like, yeah, I don't know. But, like, I think eventually he'll just get bored of whatever he's doing and give up. So anyways, next day, it is lunch. Lunch once again. And James comes in, and he finds Kate. And he's almost like they sit down, and he's almost like, he's really stiff. He's, like, not talking that much. And Kate's like, are you good? Like, is everything okay? And James is like, dude, it's not you. It's just the emo. I just don't know what that kid's going to do today. Like, I'm not trying to lose any more hair. Like, that really hurt last night. Like, I was starting to bleed from my scalp where he pulled me. Like, that was ridiculous. And, you know, Kate's like, yeah, that kid's pretty weird. Like, sorry you have to go through with that. And speak of the devil, dude. Because at that point, the emo kid walks in. And at this point, he has a backpack on. And he has a smaller stick. And he has a stick in his hand, a smaller one. And a spirit Halloween wizard hat on. and James is like, you gotta be kidding me, bro. Like, you gotta be kidding me. And at this point, Kate's like, what? She turns around and she's like, oh my God. And the emo kid walks up and he's like, ha ha ha, like, this is where you made your mistake, James. This is where you made your last mistake. And he walks out, and he sits next, and he, like, stands up next to them. He reaches into his backpack or whatever. He takes out a piece of chalk. He takes out a plastic bag that has a hair in it, presumably, James's hair. And he also has, like, a candle set and a lighter. And he sits down on their, he, like, sits down next to them. And so they had concrete floors in the lunchroom. So next to them, he draws, like, a pentagram, puts a bunch of, like, candles around, like, the pentagram, takes James's hair, puts it in the middle, lights all the candles. At this point, like, this is taking, like, 2 minutes to do. Kate and James are just sitting there looking at him, completely aghast. Like, what is this kid? What is this kid on? Like, whatever he's on, dude, like, maybe get me some of that. Oh, my God. No, but they were just like, I mean, what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to say? So eventually the emo kid has his whole, I don't know, his magic setup is all done or whatever you want to call it. And he starts lighting all the candles. He's like, James, this is your last chance. Give me your girlfriend and I won't put a spell on you. And James is like, dude, what do you mean give me my girlfriend? Like, it's like a mutual choice to be like girlfriend and boyfriend. Like, you're acting as if this is like the 1600s or something, and like the wife is the property of the husband, bro. Like, what are you talking about? And, you know, he's like, one more chance, bro. I'm about to put a crazy spell on you if you don't give me your girlfriend. And Kate, this is when Kate speaks up and is like, dude, like, even if he said that he was going to give me to you, I'm not going to be your boyfriend. Like, I'm not going to be your girlfriend, dude. And the emo kid's like, well, I'm going to put a spell on you too, dude, if you don't become my, he literally threatens Kate and he's like, oh, if you don't become my girlfriend, I'm going to put a spell on you as well, which, okay. I might not be the smoothest individual. I might not be, I don't know, the one that has the greatest pickup lines of all time. My Tinder one's pretty funny. I did steal it from my friend, but maybe I'll 5,000 likes and I'll reveal it because it's pretty funny, but it's also a little embarrassing. But here's one thing I do know. There's a very decent chance that if you threaten to cast a spell on a woman if she doesn't become your girlfriend, she's probably, not 100%, but probably not gonna become your girlfriend. I know I might be going out on a crazy limb right now, and you guys might completely disagree, and maybe you found your wife of 10 years who loves you very much from threatening her with magical spells. I just don't think that's a great way to do it. So eventually the emo kid finishes up, and then he lights the hair in the middle, and then he takes his magic wand, waves it around, and just starts saying a bunch of nonsense. And at this point, half the entire cafeteria has turned, is just like looking. They've almost like circled around it like it was a school fight or something. They've circled around it and they're just like, what the frick, bro? Like, oh my God, like what's going on right now? And eventually the emo kid like points his magic wand at James and is like, ooga booga, or I don't know. He's just saying some nonsense. And like literally 15 seconds of pure silence happened. And then very clearly nothing happens. And he's like, I'm going to give you one more chance. I'm going to count to 3. If you don't, you're going to explode because of my spells. And James is like, I think I'm going to take the risk. He's like, 3? I'm going to give you one more chance, bro. Like, I'm going to give you one more chance. And James is like, nope. I'm going to take the risk here. 2. And he's like, yeah, nah, I'm good, man. Like, you can go ahead with this. If I explode, I explode. Like, that's tough. 1. Last chance, dude. I'm being super generous right now. Just give me your girlfriend and we'll be all good here. And James is like, nah, I'm chilling, bro. He's like, fine. Kicks it. The emo kid literally kicks over his magic, like, whatever set. Because I think he knew it wasn't going to work anyways. Which, thankfully, it was concrete floors and nothing, like, flammable. Because, like, the candles fly all over the place or whatever. And he storms out of there. He, like, storms out of there. At this point, James sits back down. He's like, maybe we should go on dates at night when we're not in school. And Kate's like, that's not a bad idea. So the next day, Kate and James actually don't sit together at lunch. They sit separately. So they decide that if they're going to like do anything, at least for a little bit, to do it outside of school, like after school or at lunch or something like that. But the emo kid once again comes up to James, and James is like, oh my God, dude, like, what? What now? And the emo kid, like, he literally goes on one knee and, like, kind of, like, presents, he's down on one knee, puts his head down and says, like, I concede the battle, you win. Like, I tried everything possible, but you are the better duelist. Like, I honorably concede. And in James's head, he's like, bro, he didn't say this, but he's like, bro, you did not honorably concede. You did the least honorable, you did not concede honorably. But at this point, James sees this as a perfect opportunity for the emo kid to just stop. So he's like, all right, man, like, it was a good battle. It was really close, and you'll get them next time. Like, honestly, James is trying to be as chill as possible so that the emo kid doesn't come back and be like, well, actually, I'm going to try more magic or something. And the emo kid stands up, and he, like, kind of, like, nods his head. And James nods his head back, and the emo kid bows and leaves. And yeah, after that point, James and Kate actually were able to like do like lunch dates or whatever in school again. The relationship lasted like 6 months. It didn't last crazy long, but Kate and James are still cool to this day. Today we got 3 stories of Minecraft kids that I know you will enjoy. So let's just go ahead and jump into the first one. We're going to call the subscriber who submitted this story Peter. And by the way, all these stories are on Spotify, linked in the description. You'll probably even hear them about an hour earlier before they go up on here if you find them on Spotify. Anyways, so Pete, we're going to call the first subscriber who submitted this story Peter. And anyways, right, Peter was in a class, and in Peter's class, there was an assignment that they all had to do. And this assignment was the what do you want to do when you grow up assignment. And you got kids coming in being like, oh, I want to do YouTube. Oh, I want to be a doctor. Oh, I want to be president of the United States. Oh, I want to do your mom. There's like a lot of things that people came in and said like, oh, this is what I want to do, right? So it was kind of like done that you had a presentation. You would go home and kind of prepare a little bit, and then you go up there. I think a couple stories ago, someone else submitted something with their class had a similar type thing, and I know I had something like this, so this might just be a thing that happens to everyone in like second grade. I don't know. Tell me in the comments if it's true or not. But anyways, right, so sure enough, Peter wanted to be, He wanted to be a doctor, which is pretty standard, pretty standard response. When I was 10, I wanted to be a doctor, and then I learned about medical school. But anyways, right, so, Peter, has this little thing. He wants to be a doctor or whatever. And eventually, let's just skip forward to the day of class. Let's just skip forward to the day where, they're actually presenting. And, Peter goes up there. He has a doctor's costume he bought or whatever. And, sure enough, it's fine. It's whatever. That's not the interesting thing. There's a kid in Peter's class who we're going to call the Minecraft kid because all bro does is play Minecraft. Like, literally every single day when he gets back from school. Doesn't even do his homework. Screw that. Does Minecraft. In class, he's asleep, so he can stay up all night to play Minecraft. This bro's life literally revolves around Minecraft. Don't get me wrong, Minecraft is a cool game. I use it for all my background footage. It has an integral place in my childhood. Like, I love Minecraft. Great game, right? However, please have a life outside of it. That's all I ask. That's all I ask, man. But anyways, right, sure enough, the Minecraft kid walks up to the front of the class. And everyone was kind of expecting him to say, like, I don't know, I want to, work for a video game company. I want to work for Mojang. I want to be a computer programmer so I can make video games or whatever. Or maybe even like I want to stream on Twitch, which is like, even that's a little iffy, which you don't even want me to go into the statistics of how difficult that is. Anyways, and I won't because I want watch time and good retention. So sure enough, the Minecraft kid goes up there and Peter's kind of interested to see what he's going to say because he's kind of expecting the Minecraft kid to say something a little bit goofy. Like not too crazy, but just a little bit goofy. Just a little bit on the goofy side, right? And the Minecraft kid goes up there and says, all I want to do when I grow up is just keep playing Minecraft. And he brings with him, that fake Minecraft sword, like a foam one that like you can buy for like $20 or something. I just know it because I got it for my 5th grade birthday party, and I might still have it, or I might have had my mom thrown it out without me knowing, which is a shame, but whatever, right? And so he brings this and he kind of swings it around. It's like, yep, all I do every day is I play Minecraft. When I go home and I play Minecraft, and I stay up all night to do it. That's why I'm never paying attention in class or doing anything like that. And I want to let you know that no one can tell me otherwise. All I'm going to do with my life is play Minecraft every single day. And the teacher's like, hey, this project wasn't about, what's your favorite hobby? What's your favorite pastime? This project was about, like, what are you going to do with the rest of your life? Or what do you want to do as a profession? There's a difference between, choosing to do something casually and choosing to do something professionally. And the thing is, right, this wasn't even a teacher who's like, if you're not a doctor or a lawyer, then you're not a real worker. Like, it wasn't one of these, like, old-fashioned teachers who doesn't understand, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say, like a teacher that doesn't understand kind of the new scheme of jobs. The teacher literally let a kid say, hey, I want to be a YouTuber, but if that doesn't work, I'm going to go to college for digital marketing or something like that. The teacher was fine with that. The teacher understands the new landscape of work. But the thing is, there's a difference between saying, hey, I want to pursue playing video games online, and if that doesn't work, then I want to do X, and saying, I want to sit inside and do video games all day, specifically Minecraft all day, because, bro, let me just let you know, there's really no professional Minecraft leagues that pay you anything, right? I might be wrong, there might be, like, a professional Minecraft league that pays you, like, a couple $100 if you win a tournament, but, dude, that's not enough to sustain yourself. Like, there are no, like, maybe if you wanted to say, yeah, I want to be professional, like, Counter-Strike or a game like that, maybe. But even that is a massive stretch. And sure enough, the Minecraft kid didn't even say anything like that. He just said, I want to sit inside and play Minecraft all day. So Peter's just like, oh boy, because Peter's sitting down, he's watching the teacher really just like not be cool with this, and the Minecraft kid not even like adapting on the spot. Because one might have thought that, okay, the Minecraft kid realizes that the teacher is not a fan of what he just said, and that maybe if he wants to save his grade, I don't know, adapt it a little bit. Like just switch things up a little bit. I don't know, man, like, just be like, oh, haha, what I meant is I want to go and learn how to make video games. Like, sure, that's fine. Go to school for programming or something like that. But the Minecraft kid doubles down and says to the teacher, what I want to do when I grow up is I just want to sit at home and do video games. I don't want to do anything else. I don't want anyone to bother me, and I just want to play Minecraft 24/7. And, Peter's just like, oh, boy, this teacher's not going to be happy. And the teacher's like Minecraft kid. Says his actual name, but is like, Minecraft kid, I want you to know that, I'm going to give you, sit back down, step outside, and I'm going to give you 10 minutes to come up with a real job. Like, I'm going to give you 10 minutes, and I'm being very gracious right now because at the moment you have a fail on this assignment. Not like the Minecraft kid was really caring about his grades. I mean, he handed in 0 homework and basically was failing everything else. But the teacher's like, I'm going to give you 10 minutes of standing outside to come up with something new. And when you're ready, come back in and you may present again. So the Minecraft kid very angrily walks outside. And the teacher's like, all right, who's coming up next? And the teacher's like, okay, Ben, how about you come up? And within 10 seconds, the door slams open again. And the Minecraft kid says, I'm ready. So the teacher, I don't know if the teacher was just being hopeful because, I mean, come on. He was out for 3 seconds. You really think he came up with a new job? No. The teacher might have just been hopeful and was like, oh, that was fast. Sure. Come on up. What's the deal? What's going on? Come tell me about your new job. So Minecraft kid walks to the front of the class again and says, when I grow older or when I'm an adult, I just want to sit inside and do Minecraft all day. I said it before and I'm saying it again. Boom. The teacher's kind of turns to the Minecraft kid and says, I was generous with you. I gave you time to reconsider what you're doing, to present again. This isn't just what you want to do. This is a presentation. This is an assignment for the front of the class. And at this point, the Minecraft kid says, so you're saying I can't do that? And the teacher's like, yes, I'm saying that when you're older, you're not going to be able to do that. Sure, you can play video games on the part. You can partially play video games. That's totally fine. But you can't entirely play video games. You've got to do other stuff with your life as well. You have to find something that's going to bring you an income. You have to do something more productive than that. And, the Minecraft teacher, sorry, I'm jumbling my words. The teacher probably would have even been fine if he said, I want to, I want to make content around me playing Minecraft. The teacher was in tune with, you can entertain, entertainment is decentralized. Almost anyone can make entertainment. Not almost anyone will be successful, but almost anyone can. This isn't like the 80s and 90s where really you either had to score a really big role in TV or radio or a movie. You can just post something on your phone. It's incredible. So at this point, the Minecraft kid was starting to get really angry. And he's like, teacher, I'm going to give you to a count of 3 to take that back. And the teacher is so taken aback by the fact that the Minecraft kid just said, I'm going to give you a count of 3 to pretend that you didn't just say what you said. And the teacher's like, are you insane? The Minecraft kid is like, 3. And the teacher's like, you don't understand. They're I am supposed to be the one giving you a countdown. Minecraft kid's like, 2. And the teacher's like, what is so wrong with me saying that you can't just sit around and play Minecraft all day? That makes total sense. I asked you in the presentation what you should do as a job. And you said sit around and play Minecraft. How do you expect to make any money from that? And the Minecraft kid's like, 1. The teacher's like, what? What are you going to do at the end of the countdown? And the Minecraft kid steps over and just goes down on one knee and is bent down, is it starts making weird noises. He's and the teacher's like, dude, what are you doing? Okay. Teacher probably didn't say dude, but the teacher's like, what are you doing? And the Minecraft kid jumps up, springs up, and is like, I will fight you in a 1v1 PvP battle. And he grabs his Minecraft sword and starts swinging it around, trying to be intimidating. But dude, it was a foam sword. You're playing Minecraft. You're not intimidating anyone, dude. That's just not happening. And he starts swinging around. It's and the teacher's like, okay, I just, why? What are you doing? Stop it. Get some help, bro. What's going on? And he's like, you said that I could do Minecraft every single day for the rest of my life. And the teacher's like, yeah, and I stand by that. Minecraft kid swinging around his foam swords you don't want me to be happy. You want me to be unhappy. And for that reason, it's you versus me in a PvP fight. At this point, Peter is just sitting there just trying to comprehend how everything escalated to this point. Because sure, the Minecraft kid and the teacher were kind of fighting a bit and they weren't happy with each other. But the Minecraft kid really gave the teacher a 3-2-1 countdown and then entered into Minecraft PvP mode. He has his sword out, swinging it all around. And at this point, right, Peter's just like, okay, something's going, this is not going to end well. At this point, right, he's like swinging around his sword. The Minecraft kid's like, I'm going to give you to another count to 3 to give me a 100% and tell me that I can 100% play Minecraft for the rest of my life. The teacher looks at him and says, no, I would be lying to you if I said that. And Minecraft kid is like, fine, you've chosen your fate. Minecraft kid's like, starts swinging his sword. The teacher says, if that foam sword even touches me for a second, you're failing this assignment and you're going straight to the principal's office. The Minecraft kid says, I will give you another count of 3 to reconsider everything. The Minecraft kid is obviously realizing at this point that he's in way too deep and he's also not winning. So he thinks that if he keeps on saying, I'm going to give you till the count of 3, that he is somehow going to win this whole thing. And sure enough, the Minecraft kid counts to 3. The teacher's like, okay, like what? What's going to happen now? The Minecraft kid's like, I warned you. Minecraft kid takes his foam sword, swings, and goes, bop, makes contact with the teacher. And at this point, the teacher grabs the sword, rips out of the Minecraft kid's hand, goes over, holds onto both the Minecraft kid's shoulders, and starts walking him out the door. It's like, all right, buddy, that's time to go to the principal's office for you. So the Minecraft kid and the teacher walk out the door, and everyone else is kind of just sitting there like, what? Anyways, the next story, we're going to call the subscriber Chris. So Chris has a cousin who we're going to call the Minecraft kid, right? And Chris doesn't really get to know his cousin that well. He doesn't see him that often. But Chris and his mom are over at his aunt's, it'd be his aunt's house. And, this is the first time, Chris has seen his aunt in years. And the last time Chris saw his cousin was like 4 and was really shy, didn't want to talk that much. Now his little cousin was 8 years old and was apparently a Minecraft fanatic. He liked playing it so much. He knew everything about it. He watched Minecraft YouTubers when he wasn't playing Minecraft. In his sleep, he dreamed about fighting the Ender Dragon. And, Chris didn't really know that much, but Chris was kind of told because Chris asked his mom, like, as they're driving there, like, what should I know? Like, I have to hang out with this kid, because Chris was told, oh, you get to hang out with your cousin for a little bit. It'll be good for you. Chris is, like, 16 at this point. He's not going to get along with his cousin on a lot of things. They're not going to have a ton in common. They can't talk about girl troubles at the same level, right? They can't talk about, oh, wow, math is so difficult. Yeah, because Chris's little cousin would be like, yeah, a simple addition really sucks. He'd be like, sure. So sure enough, Chris's mom was like, yeah, okay, so all I know is he's a big fan of, like, that game Minecraft. And Chris is like, yeah, I've played it a little bit. And by Chris saying that he's played it, literally all he means is, yeah, he and his friends have played some, like, survival servers at some points. Like, they'll be really into it for a week, and then they'll not play it for a year. That's how a lot of people actually get into it. You get super into Minecraft servers with your friends. You play for 2 weeks. You literally play 12 hours a day, and then you never touch the game again for years. That's just how it goes with a lot of people. So Chris and his mom get there, and Chris's aunt and Chris's cousin, right? Chris's cousin's actually in a different room, but Chris's aunt greets them. They're like, oh my God, I haven't seen you so long, Chris. You're so much older now. And Chris is in his head is like, yeah, that's kind of how time works, bro. But whatever, right? Sure enough, Chris's aunt was like, hey, Chris, I just want to let you know your little cousin's in the other room, and he would love to see you. Did he actually love to see him? Well, we'll see him in a second. So sure enough, Chris goes into the other room, and there's the little cousin who's sitting there with an iPad, and he's playing, Pocket Edition Minecraft. And Chris is like, yo, what's up, bro? Like, hey, it's me, Chris. I don't remember if you remember me, but I'm your cousin. And Chris's little cousin's like, yeah, I don't, like, hi, how are you doing? And Chris is like, oh, I heard you like Minecraft. And, Chris's little cousin's like, I do. Do you like Minecraft? And Chris in his head is like, he's like, yeah, I'm going to say yes, we're going to bond, and this will be less awkward. So Chris is like, yeah, I like Minecraft. It's cool. Like, I enjoy it. And Chris's little cousin immediately says, so you're an expert? And Chris is like, I don't know, but I played a little bit. And Chris is like, okay, well, riddle me this. So when you kill the Ender Dragon and there's the Ender Dragon egg, how exactly are you to get it? And Chris, who's never actually completed the game because he just plays a little bit, right? He's like, oh, you just mine it, right, with a pickaxe. The little cousin's like, meh, wrong. 1 strike against you. Next question. And Chris is kind of just thinking, wait, what? Like, is this some kind of like, well, like, what are we doing here? And, the little cousin's like, okay, so if you're fighting an Enderman, and you have a bucket. Like, a bucket of what? Like, what kind of liquid will Enderman not be able to, like, fight you in? And Chris is like, I don't know, milk, because he remembered he's able to milk a cow. And Chris's little cousin's like, oh my God, meh, 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 wrong. Water. Enderman will not fight you in water. 2 strikes, Chris, 2 strikes. And Chris is kind of like, oh my God, like this was supposed to be a bonding experience. This is the opposite of a bonding experience right now. Like, this is not a bonding experience. This is crazy. And sure enough, Chris is like, okay, man, well, I can play Minecraft with you. He's like, man, final question, and I need you to answer this. And Chris is like, okay. And so this little cousin's like, well, I need to think about it. I got to make it good. And, you're going to suffer the consequences if you don't get this question correct. So the little cousin's like, okay, who is the popular Minecraft YouTuber who has the Minecraft Manhunt series and is green? And the thing is, right, Chris kind of grew up on, the old school Minecrafters. So he was like, Captain Sparkles? And his little brother's like, no, it's Dream, you idiot. You aren't actually a Minecraft fan. You lied to me. And at this point, Chris is like, dude, it's simply not that deep. And the Minecraft kid's like, no, you betrayed my trust. And the Minecraft kid runs over to him and sinks his teeth into his arm. Real quick, if you made it this far into the video, comment Minecraft down below. That'll be the secret word of the day. And it'll help me know how many people actually made it to the end of the video. I really do appreciate it when you guys comment the secret word down below so I can see all the names and faces. And if you want to support the channel, just continue watching more videos after this one. Literally just watching more videos supports the channel more than you can ever imagine. And also, it's on Spotify. And if you do listen on Spotify, please rate 5 stars. And if you want to submit your own stories of Karen, spoiled kids, Minecraft kids, crazy things happening in high school, submit them to either my Twitter or Instagram. You can do so by following me on those platforms and then DMing me on there. By the way, join the Discord server, link in description. Use code ConnorPugs for 10% off gamer subs. Helps you, helps me. And let's get right back into it. So Chris looks down at his little cousin who has bit him at this point. The little cousin has sunk his teeth into Chris's skin. Thankfully, he doesn't break it and draws blood or anything. And he's just looking at it. He's like, oh my God. And he shakes him off. He's like, dude. And the little cousin's like, well, that's your punishment for not actually enjoying Minecraft. You're a fraud, a phony, and a fake lover of Minecraft. You don't actually love Minecraft. You're a fraud, and that's your punishment. So Chris very angrily walks out. And Chris's mom and his Chris's aunt are looking like, oh, what just happened? And Chris is like my little cousin just bit me because he says I'm a fraud. Fraud alert, fraud owned. But he's like, he thinks I'm a fraud because I didn't understand all this really obscure trivia about Minecraft. Can you believe this? This is ridiculous. Oh my God. And at this point, Chris's mom's like, oh no. And Chris's aunt's like, oh, I forgot to say, he's really touchy about the Minecraft subject. And Chris's mom turns to Chris's aunt and is like, you told me that's what he really liked. And Chris's aunt goes on to say, well, yeah, he really likes it, but he takes it really seriously. And if you say you like Minecraft, he assumes that you like it at his level. And he's had so many people before say that they like Minecraft, but they just like it casually, that he now thinks that anyone who says that and doesn't know all the obscure trivia that he knows is a fakester, a fraud, or a phony. At this point, Chris is kind of just like, well, why didn't you tell me this before? And you could hear the little cousin screaming, get that fraud out of here, Mom. I don't want to hang out with that fraud. And sure enough, Chris's aunt goes into that room. You can hear her say you better behave yourself. This is unacceptable behavior. You hear me? This behavior is unacceptable, and I won't stand for it. I simply won't stand for this. You only see your cousin once a year. This is insane. And Chris is kind of just listening to this, and Chris's mom's like, Chris, I'm so sorry. I did not know. And Chris is like, it's fine. How would you know? I don't know anyone else who does this. I simply could not blame you even if I wanted to. The situation going down right now, it's just so ridiculous. I just can't blame you at this point. And so Chris's aunt comes back out and it's like, once again, I am so sorry. Like, none of this was ever supposed to happen. Like, you know what? You can go back in there. And he said they just calmed down. And Chris kind of just looks at his aunt. It's like, he said that? And Chris's aunt's like, well, I mean, he implied that with his actions. Basically, just meant Chris's aunt went in there and kind of like shouted at him till he quieted down. And, sure enough, Chris decides, okay, I'll go back in there. And when Chris walks back in, he's like, hey, dude. And, his cousin, the Minecraft kid, is just on the iPad. And, he walks in a little bit. And Chris is like, so, playing some Minecraft? And the little cousin's like, not like you would know. And Chris is like, well, okay, when I said I liked Minecraft, I literally just meant I played a little bit with my friends. I think it's a fun game. And the little cousin's like, if you thought it was a fun game, then you would have known my trivia. And Chris is like, well, not necessarily. Like, just because I don't know every detail about the game doesn't necessarily mean I don't like the game. Like, that just doesn't sound fair to me. And Chris is like, I don't know. Like, I enjoy playing with my friends. Doesn't mean I don't watch it on YouTube. So that trivia question about knowing that guy, like, it doesn't matter. Like, I really don't understand why you bit me. And, the little cousin is just, like, playing his Minecraft, but then he pauses his game. So, it's about to get real serious, right? And he closes out his iPad. He's like, I bit you because you're a fraud. You're a fraud who says he likes Minecraft, but really doesn't. Little kid turns around, jumps, and bites Chris on the other arm. And Chris is like, oh my God, pushes him off again. Chris storms out of that room and goes over and is like, Mom, he bit me again. And Chris's mom's like, oh dear. And his aunt's like, oh. Chris's aunt runs back into the room, shouts at the Minecraft kid again, and shuts the door. And it's like, Chris, you know what? I haven't seen you in a while. How about you stay out here with your mom and I, and we'll just have a discussion here. You and your cousin can, you guys can meet each other again, maybe in a couple years, when he's out of this phase. Hopefully this is a phase. I really hope this is a phase. So the final Minecraft kid story, we're going to call the subscriber who submitted it Bart. Because if you couldn't tell, I got Peter, Chris, and Bart, Family Guy, Simpsons. I'm trying to do themes with these names now. Just keep myself interested. Anyways, though, right? So, Bart was in class, and he was in 3rd grade at the time. He was on the younger side for sure. I don't know exactly what grade. This could have well been 2nd grade, but let's just say 3rd grade just because. And so what they were supposed to do is they were assigned that, they could choose any country in the world, and they got to decide, they would have to research it, make a little presentation, and eventually present it in front of the entire class. So there was a kid in class who we're just going to call the Minecraft kid. He wasn't even that obsessed with Minecraft. He just really enjoyed the game. And it gets interesting because the Minecraft kid, he mixed up basically, right? He mixed up the nether, like in Minecraft, and the Netherlands, like the place. So anyways, right, it's the day that they're presenting. Bart is sitting next to the Minecraft kid, and he leans over and he's like, hey dude, like where did you choose? And he's like, oh, the nether. And Bart's like, what? Like, you have to choose a country. And the Minecraft kid's like, yeah, it's next to like Sweden, Norway, it's like in that part of Europe. And Bart's like, oh, okay. So Bart knows about the Netherlands, right? He just kind of thinks that, the Minecraft kid learned like a shorthand way to call like, oh, maybe the cool people call the Netherlands the nether, and I just don't know any better. The thing is, though, so Bart went up, he did his presentation, it was totally fine. But the Minecraft kid, he went up to go do his presentation. And the thing is, right, when the Minecraft kid went to go look up, like, the Netherlands, right, he must have written down the Netherlands wrong and wrote down the nether and maybe couldn't read the rest of it. So when he typed into Google the nether, he got, like, Minecraft wiki. He got articles about the in-game Minecraft universe, the nether. And he actually ended up, because, look, he's in 2nd or 3rd grade. Reality and fiction is kind of a blurred line for kids at that point. So he went up there and he did an entire presentation talking about, like, here's photos, and he literally took screenshots from, like, a really good texture pack of the nether. He's like, up here, like, this far up into Europe, he's like, it's really fiery. It's there's these floating fire monsters. There's these like pig creatures that come after you if you provoke them. And the entire class like is just looking at him like, bro. And the teacher just has this smile on his face, like, okay, how are we gonna handle this, boys? Like, how are we gonna go about this? And you know, the Minecraft kid finishes up his presentation. And, you know, everyone is kind of clapping a little bit. And there's, for every single person, there's a point where people can ask questions. A lot of the times, like, the kids would be like, I don't know. Like, if it's not my presentation, I don't know it. But one of the kids raised his hand, and, you know, the Minecraft kid pointed on him. And, you know, he said, like, nice presentation, but I'm pretty sure the nether isn't real. And the Minecraft kid starts laughing. He's like, what do you mean the nether isn't real? And he's like, I don't think you put down the name right. And the Minecraft kid is really confused, and he turns to his teacher. And the teacher is like, okay, I gotta speak up. The teacher's like, yeah, so, Minecraft kid, I hate to say it, but I think you wrote down the name wrong. I was looking it up while you were doing your presentation, because I was pretty confused, and I looked up the nether into Google, and apparently it's a place in a video game. You were supposed to do the Netherlands. And the Minecraft kid got super embarrassed because he has this whole presentation. He was 100% confident that this place really existed. And he was kind of just told that, oh, well, actually, truth is, you just messed up the whole thing. But the teacher's actually was a pretty cool dude because the teacher wanted to say, like, man, like, he's like, hey, all I asked you to do was to do a presentation, you know, on a place that, you know, I thought that, you know, to do a presentation, do the work, do the research, put it together, and present it to the class. He said, hey, you did the research. I can tell you put in the work. This is a great presentation, and you presented it in front of the entire class. Yes, you didn't do exactly what I asked, but you didn't do so maliciously, and your intentions were good, and you put in the effort. He said, I'm going to grade you as if you did a real country. And, you know, the Minecraft kid was very happy to hear this because he more or less kind of like dodged a bullet there. Because I'm sure the Minecraft kid and Bart especially, like when Bart was sitting there, he was worried for his friend because he was friendly with the Minecraft kid. He was worried that he was going to get like a check minus. Basically, they had check plus, check, and check minus as their system. They got grades when they were older, but he was afraid he was going to get a check minus, or maybe, oh, the teacher wouldn't understand and would call up his parents being like, your son isn't taking this class seriously. When you know the son was taking it seriously. He just didn't understand the instructions. He didn't get the memo, right? And it's cool to see teachers like this really come together and understand that, you know, if the intention is good and the work was put in, really that's all that, you know, you're supposed to be doing in school. So the Minecraft kid sat down and he turned over, and Bart turned over like, hey man, I'm sorry that I didn't say anything. I honestly thought when you said the nether, you were just doing shorthand for like the Netherlands. I thought that was a nickname or something. And the Minecraft kid's like, you're good, dude. Like, it's totally fine. Like, I should have like known that. And, you know, and Bart was like, dude, there's actually a cool presentation. Like, I kind of like Minecraft myself. And, you know, I learned a thing or two about Minecraft. Like, if I'm going to speed run the game, I'll think about your presentation. And, you know, the Minecraft kid took that, like, you know, pretty nicely. And he smiled back. And, you know, yeah, after that, you know, the Minecraft kid actually got a check plus for his presentation because the Minecraft kid put in a check plus worth of work. And most kids got check pluses. Some got checks if they really clearly didn't put in any work. But the majority of kids got check pluses, including the Minecraft kid, who did a presentation on the nether, which I just thought was pretty funny, but also W teacher. 100% W teacher. He gets it. He's the GOAT. Anyways, if you want to support the channel, keep watching videos after this.
Click on the video on screen right now. I know you'll enjoy it. Just click it. Do it.